Hi everyone, it's me, Danielle, just popping on to share some more weird stories. So last year, I don't really know why, but of course, I always am looking up very interesting, strange things. And I think I was doing some research on, I don't know how to pronounce it, Zoroastrianism. How is that? Um, I've also done a lot of research on the Great White Brotherhood and various religious beliefs. I do look up interesting things, just to sort of understand various religions and beliefs around the world and history. So I know that last year at some point I had come across this being that I read about that was a peacock god. So I had a strange thing happen over the weekend on Sunday. I decided to have a salt bath, which I try to do every week, and I was submerging under the salt water. And what I do is because I find that the salt baths are really grounding. I imagine or I visualize whatever is not serving my highest good dissolving off of me in the water. So I actually submerged under the water with the salt water, and I was really focusing on connecting better to my own higher self and hearing my guides and my higher self. And so I'm under the water, and next thing you know, I see this blue being. It was like very energy. It was like not, it didn't seem very physical, but he was dancing and he had peacock feathers and he was blue and he was twirling and he was shaking his feathers. I actually live in a neighborhood that's got a lot of peacocks, and I'm gonna put a video of the way the peacocks dance and the way they rattle their feathers when they're doing their mating dance. Um, it's it's really cool to see, but it reminded me of this dance that I was watching. And he came towards me and he just like blended into my energy as well. So I wasn't really sure, why he was around. I know I was focusing on trying to hear better my own guides, my own higher self. So that night, I get in bed and I was still integrating this energy that night. And I started hearing something that wasn't nice. I heard a man's voice inside my head, not my ears, and it suggested that I kill myself. And I was like, oh, I wonder what this peacock being, what he's really like. I thought he was benevolent. Maybe I'm hearing him. I wasn't really sure. I did talk to Michael Shaman the next day, and he said that this peacock being um, was sort of adjusting my hearing, and he had adjusted me down through lower vibrations, and that's why I heard a lower vibration being. Um, so they were messing with me that night when I was sort of I was sort of being adjusted through different levels. And when I was hearing this negative stuff, I also was being a little bit hurt. Um, my heart hurt, my stomach hurt. I was getting like painful things in my sides and hips. And it stopped happening I was a little uneasy about the whole thing just because, it was pretty negative what I heard. It wouldn't trick me, like it doesn't sound like my own voice, first of all. So I know it's not like my thought saying something like that. It was definitely something a lower vibration, a trickster, or something negative. I've adjusted though to the energy, the new energy, and I did some further research. The being's name is Tawusi Melek. He's a peacock angel or god. He's a divine being from the Yazidi creation story. Yazidi religion is an ancient Iranian religion. It said he is one of the central figures of the Yazidi religion. In the Yazidi creation story, before the creation of this world, God created seven divine beings, of whom Tawusi Melek was appointed as the leader. God assigned all of the world's affairs to these seven divine beings, also often referred to as the seven angels or Heft Sur, the seven mysteries. So in Yazidi beliefs, there is one God who created the seven divine beings, the leader of whom is the Peacock God, the Lord of this world, who is responsible for all that happens on this world, both good and bad. According to religious tradition, nature, with its myriad phenomena of light and darkness, emanates from a single source, who is the Lord of this world, Tawusi Melek. There are passages that emphasize Tawusi Melek's power on the earth, in the sky, sea, on the mountains, and their residents. That is, his power exists in all parts of nature, whether celestial or terrestrial. So this is a religious belief. And I have seen like other religious beings, from different cultures. Like I have seen Greek gods. I've seen Zeus. I've seen what is her name? Now I can't think of it. Anyway, she was another Greek one. And I've seen Native American gods and goddesses. So I have seen other religious gods before. Uh, this one I wasn't very familiar with. I'll have to say he was pretty flamboyant and really fun. I drew him, but before I drew him, I found that another person has drawn him before. Paul Rucker Art. I found this on his website, and he writes about the peacock angel. And I think he was saying on his website that he's the first person to depict him for a Western, audience. I didn't think that his skin color was actually accurate. I didn't really see the wings that big either. So what I saw looked more like this. He did have four arms. His skin tone was turquoise to a little bit grayish. His hair is long, and he was dancing and flamboyant and twirling and shaking his feathers. But also, so I wasn't sure really why he came around, except I know that my neighborhood has a lot of peacocks. And when I walk my dogs, I find peacock feathers, which I know I made a little reel about, but this is from their neck, those little tiny feathers. This is probably from the wing. And I find these like kind of really fluffy ones that have a lot of blue on the tips. So these are just from 2 days ago. I found those ones I just shared and these. These are male peacock wing feathers, and so is this orange one. And this is probably from a female, although we do have turkey vultures also in the neighborhood, and it would be weird if I never found a turkey vulture feather, I would imagine. So that was just from 2 days ago. Today, even better, I found these. I'm going to keep adding on. Sometimes they're not perfect because you know what? They're all just like laying around and who knows like what the bird got up to. Sometimes they're fighting, like see this one. Who knows what happened with that wing feather? And I mean, this is today. All of these are just from today. And this one, I actually had to climb up a mountain to kind of like get, and my Chihuahua wouldn't go. So I had to just tie her to a pole so she didn't run off. So I can get this one because it's huge, huge feather. Also today, and I sometimes find these. See how tiny this is? That is a hummingbird feather. Um, I don't think that you can see how really you can almost see through this feather. It's so tiny. But I've got a lot of hummingbirds in the neighborhood. Lots of wildlife. But I make these fans, so I finished these two today. They're shamanic fans for saging or Palo Santo, any incense that you want to get the smell all around your room. But really, what it's great for is getting the smoke into the corners because you don't want stale sections of your space. This increases the vibration of your space. I know some people believe that sage rids your property of negative spirits. I've already gone over this in my video about protections. I haven't found that it gets rid of anything, but it does increase and raise the vibration of your space, which is always good because honestly, if something isn't high vibration enough to come in your space, then it probably won't come in your space, but it doesn't really get rid of like super negative things. I have to say they can still be around in sage. And if you need more information about it, go back to the video I made on protections, and I talk quite extensively about how to clear a space. So anyways, I was thinking that perhaps, the peacocks are in my neighborhood, and that's why Tawusi Melek visited me and merged energy with me to help me out. He's very flamboyant, he's very fun and jovial, and I'm excited to see if I do end up hearing my guides. Also, I do a lot of artwork on my iPad, and when I sell art this way, I always give people a JPEG, like a digital file, and I make an 8 by 10 print on photo paper, but I do paint as well. So I'm going to share also a painting that I just finished that is peacock themed. I mean, I love the peacocks anyway because they're always around my neighborhood. And right now I'm seeing a lot of babies, little pea chicks with their pea hen moms. They're not real babies. They're like this big. The moms are like this big and the babies are like this. So because it's summer, it's not spring anymore. But yeah, I'm going to share the painting that I did. Actually, let me measure it real quick. Okay, so here is the painting that I did. This is 18 by 24 inches and it's on wood. So I also do paint acrylic, watercolor. I do all sorts of different mediums, but that's for sale, as are my fans, and I'll have the details in the video description for anyone who's interested. Anyways, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the information about Tawusi Melek. I learn something new every week, I want to say every week. So I find it fascinating that something like this could happen. Anyways, if you guys haven't done a salt bath, I highly recommend it. A lot of people who have psychic abilities, clairvoyance, or clairaudience, they seem to hear and see a lot while they are in the shower or bath. I think the water is very grounding. All right, everyone. So thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me, and I hope that everyone has a beautiful week.